All right, so this is basically like takeaways that from the documentary. Um, from let me see the name of the documentary again so I can get it correct. Even though you can see the title, but I've got to get it correct myself. And that is the Black Maternity. Um, yeah, the Black Maternity Dispatches. Um, I believe that's what it's actually called. If I got it wrong, then the title's there anyway. All right, so yeah, there's quite a few takeaways from this, right? And I want you to understand something really clearly. First of all, yeah, human life is human life, but this is to do with maternity, yeah, to do with childbirth, which is a big deal, right? All right, so let's break this down. So first of all, yeah, Rochelle Humes, from the Saturdays, I believe she's in the Saturdays. What's in the Saturdays? Yeah, get me, that girl group. Now she's like a presenter and that. Like, that's interesting. But anyway, now she's a presenter and that. And it's like, raw. She's presenting this documentary. Now, what was interesting about her presenting this documentary, there was backlash when this was announced. And at first I was like, you people need to allow it. You know what I mean? Because yeah, she may be of a fairer skin, but she still got melanin. She still would identify as black. But oh, I was wrong. This is why I was wrong, because when she started the documentary, she identified as mixed race. Now this is the first time in my life that I've ever heard someone identify themselves as mixed race, that look of her complexion. I didn't know that she identified as mixed race. Now, the thing is, like, from what I've seen people of the same complexion get mistreated as if they were black. They are identified as IC3. Plain and simple, right? That's from experience that I've seen. Now, also, she did mention that, so she mentioned the difference. It's mentioned that black women are more likely to die from childbirth than mixed race women and white women. Do you see what I mean? So it's just interesting that she mentioned that. All right, cool, fair enough. Fair enough that she differentiated. She's done the comparisons. All right, boom. Then she also mentioned something to do with like questioning what can be done to change these statistics. So my thing is, look, it's simple. To change these statistics, we have to have our own birthing centers, our own healing centers. In this case, our own birthing centers. We have to control that environment. It's just as simple as that. Like, my thing is, yeah, in fact, I'll get into it later because there was another question or another thing that happened that needs to be addressed as well. All right, so another thing was, yes, another thing was there's a thing called the Black People, Racism and Human Rights, yeah? And so she looked into that. And then there's a thing where they said the death rate for black women in childbirth is 5 times. 5 times. That's insane. Even 1 time is insane to me, right? And then also, 5 times higher than for white women. Then the NHS, this is where it gets fucked up. The NHS, the one that we be clapping for every fucking Thursday, 8 p.m. since flipping lockdown, yeah? Clapping for NHS, yeah? Guess what happens? This was so nuts. They mentioned, let me read it properly so I can get it correct. The NHS acknowledge and regret this disparity, but have no target to end it. They have no target to, they acknowledge the problem exists. The NHS that you be clapping for acknowledge that the problem exists, but they have no plans to end it. None. So my thing is this: if they got no plans to end it, then why are you still going here? Do you see what I mean? Why are you still going to these people? Why are you going to this still going to this organization? Now, don't get it twisted. There are some black women or black women and also black men that also work for the NHS. I know quite a few that work for the NHS, and they still do a good job regardless of what they're doing. So I'm not trying to disrespect the NHS as a whole, but my whole thing is, it's like if the organization itself is, you know, rotten, you gotta get yourself out of that situation. That's all I can say. For me, everything is simple. It's just so simple. We need our own birthing centers, plain and simple. Yeah, or at least give birth at home. Yeah. Anyway, let's keep it moving. Then they mentioned AFE is like the number one reason for deaths. I should have looked at the acronym for that, but I forgot to do that. But also they mentioned that so it's heart disease, blood clots, and mental health conditions. So these are the problems and the causes of death. Now, my thing is, these things can easily be prevented. Plain and simple, right? All right, let's keep it moving, right? And then they go on to mention there are biasness to the way black women are mistreated. So there was this white woman, I forgot her name, like, so I don't want to disrespect her, just call her a white woman, but you know what I mean, like, she mentions that there's this mistreatment, and even the black women and dark skinned black women as well that Rochelle like had a conversation with, they mentioned the mistreatment that they've received and that people they know received. So it's like, my thing is, again, it's simple. Why are you gonna go to a place where you're disrespected? Do you know what I mean? Like, there's this constant theme of black women's voices are not heard, this, that, and the third. Yeah. All right. Boom. And then there's no like, so they obviously don't get proper care, and there's like near misses, and basically this is why this happens. Yeah, because in America, as far as slavery is concerned, or was it post-slavery? I can't remember the era, but basically there is this uh, misconception that black people, yeah, can bear more pain than white people. Huh? Does that make any sense? Alright, cool. Fair enough. I know in some cases, you know, black people and white people could be different. Yeah, like I know that's just reality, right? But do you know what I mean? Like, the way I can explain it. Imagine there's two footballers. Yeah, both of them are, one's black, one's white, and they play. I'm gonna use women's football for example. Now, imagine they both get injured the same way. Yeah, one of them breaks her ankle. No, I'm not gonna say break her ankle. That's too much. Yeah, one of them has a hamstring injury, and the other one has a hamstring injury. One, so the black person has one on the left, and then the white one, the white person, the white footballer, she has a hamstring injury on the right. And imagine they both get tackled by the same player. Yeah, let's just for argument's sake, say it's an Asian player that tackled them in it. So they're gonna feel the same level of pain, and their recovery rate is going to be the same. It's as simple as that. Don't get it twisted though. Sometimes either one could recover faster, maybe because there's something that one is doing that the other isn't doing. You see what I mean? There's levels to it. But anyway, the point I'm trying to make is humans, regardless of quote unquote race, they're gonna feel pain. There's no anyway. And then there was this group or this organization called Five Times More. So basically, they want to know from the government why this is happening, and they want to see a change. And it's like, again, to me, everything is simple. Everything is basic. It's simple to me. You have to understand that Africa and the Caribbean countries, like African Caribbean countries, they've not been independent for over 100 years, and I mean they got their independence less than 100 years ago. Yeah, and even then, I still believe they're not independent. Yeah, because there's various factors involved in regards to that. But the point I'm trying to make is you have to understand how deep this goes. Do you see what I mean? If they're disrespecting you and your people in the wider society, what makes you think they're gonna respect you and treat you right in their hospitals? Now you may have had one or two or three, four good experiences with the NHS, which some have, and I have myself, so I can't even deny that. But I'm not a woman. I haven't given birth, so I don't know in regards to that. But in regards to like birth, we're talking about, we have to understand that we need our own thing. Like as far like there's so many things that relate back to the colonizers and the oppressors. Like they're doing so much stuff, yeah, to depopulate us. I know it sounds like a crazy conspiracy, but that is the actual reality. That is the truth. They want to find it easier to control us because they know the more of us that are waking up, the harder it's going to get for them to control us. It's just as simple as that. But I still believe, as far as the government, um, you know, they want to see change. The only change you're going to see is by us taking action to be able to create our own community. Literally create our own community, have our own lands, have our own community, have our own, like I said, birthing centers, our own literally everything. Like, and we control what we need to control, and leave these evil fuckers behind. Like, do you know what I mean? That's the way I look at it. Like I'm looking at it from a simplistic point of view. I know you want equality. I know you want peace. I know you want justice. I know you want all of that. But the reality of life is sometimes you have to take yourself away from that situation. Yeah, it's like going into in fact, it's like school. Yeah, you get bullied. You get bullied, right? Now the thing is, or no, no, let me not use that. Imagine you're going somewhere, right? Let's say you're going to, I'm going to use school as an example. I'm going to use that as an example, but let's say you're on your way to school or college or whatever, and you go one route, and that one route, you see a group of people that are, if you're in London, you know you're going to get those group of people that are just like looking at you like they look like they want to cause trouble and that. Now they may not want to or do that, but just that's the stereotype you have of them, right? Now, like you're fearing your life or whatever, you're fearing your possession because you feel you might get, your possession might get stolen or you might get kidnapped. You don't know. You just don't know what could happen. So look at it this way, right? Imagine now you go through that way in a way nothing happens. Or no, something happens. They're verbally abusing you basically. Then what are you gonna do? Are you gonna continue to go that route the next day? Or are you gonna find an alternative so you don't end up being harassed? Which one are you gonna do? Like I would like to know. Leave your answer in the comment section below. Which one would you do? Would you continue going down that route so you end up continuously get harassed, or would you go down that route to or would you go down a different route? Me personally, I'm going down a different route because shit, like yeah, I'm about defending myself, but I'm not a fool in it. Man ain't a fool at it. I'm not trying to fight more than 500 people. I mean, like even two or three is overload of people. Like one on one, fair enough. Don't get it twisted. Don't test. If someone trying to watch this and they want to try to test me, don't do that. Don't do that. Because I know some people be watching and be like, oh, I'm gonna test him now. No, don't do that. Don't do that. Um, but yeah, so yeah, then there's the next thing. Um, so yeah, the government also declined to be interviewed. but they provided a statement. Now, what's the statement that they provided? Yeah, these people are flipping crafty. It is mad. Yeah, it's mad. Oh shit! Give me a second. I'm trying to get the thing up. Like, so you have to understand. Yeah. All right. Let me bring this up. So the Minister for Maternity, Nadine Dorries, she says the color of a woman's skin should have no impact on her or her baby's health. But it does. So imagine we're telling you this shit's happening and you're saying it shouldn't have this. Okay, no, we know that. We understand that. What are you going to do to solve this problem? You are the health minister, right? Or the maternity, the minister for maternity. So what are you going to do to solve that problem? So I get, you know what I mean, where 5 times would ask that question. Now there thing's been they had like a petition or whatever, which is good. That's what I suggest that people in the UK especially do is get a petition going. Do you know what I mean? And let that get debated in Parliament and stuff like that. And whether they make changes, I don't know, but at least it's being spoken about. You know what I mean? But anyway, boom. Now the next thing she says is, I am absolutely committed to tackling disparities and making sure all women get the right support and best possible maternity care. Then she also says, I have launched an oversight group to monitor how the health service is tackling maternal inequalities. Now, the government declined being in a documentary. So why didn't Nadine step up and just say all of this herself? Even though I still think it's not good enough, why didn't she not just step up, show her face, and say that? Why have a statement? That shows me, that shows you, and that also shows me personally, that these people don't give a fuck. They don't give a fuck. They will never give a fuck. And I know I'm using strong language here, but that's just the reality of life. They don't give a fuck about black lives. Yeah, the sooner black people understand that shit, the sooner we can actually just say, you know what, right, fuck it, let's create our own shit. Because before, like, think about it, before colonialism, we were doing our own shit anyway. So why would it make sense to, like think about it, why would it make sense for you to continue colonialism in a way where, you know what I mean? Like, if colonialism is supposed to be over now, or slavery is supposed to be over, and you know they brutalized your relatives, or, you know what I mean? Like, wouldn't you want nothing to do with them? Now, you can argue and be like, oh, well, you're on YouTube here, you're doing this, that. Well, I'm making the best of the resources I am. I am where I am because I am where I am, in it. Like, if I had certain things in place, then boom, I would be able to, I wouldn't be in London, UK. Man would be, get me? I'd be in a different location. But I've got to deal with reality, yeah? But get me? Because, anyway, I won't get into my details of how I got here. But the point I'm trying to make is, you have to understand that there's certain things in life that need to add up. Anyway, boom. So then, yeah. So and then near the end of the documentary, I think Rochelle, you mentioned something about how, you know, they need to tackle the racial biasness in the wider society if they're gonna solve this problem. But I'll be real with you, right? These people don't care. And from when you know the people at the top don't give a fuck, do you know what I mean? Like, my thing is segregate. I know you're saying segregation. No, yeah, segregate. I'm not saying that you can't be friends with other white people or other Asian people. Like, you can if you want to, yeah? Get me? You can if you want to. But the point I'm trying to make is, in order for black people to have a lifestyle where they are comfortable, where they're accepted, where they're respected, where they're celebrated, where they're appreciated, we need to segregate. We need our own real communities. So if you click the link in the description box below, you get access to the link where it says make a donation. You can make a donation of any amount, yeah? So you can help us actually put that into place where we can actually create our own communities, yeah? That is the solution. That's the best solution forward. Now, I'll probably be biased because I'm saying that, but that, for me, that's just the reality. Like, why would you want to go to the same place where they're fucking you over? It don't make sense to me. Why? Why? Do you know what I mean? Like, why? And plus, there's more of us anyway. So it's like, when we take ourselves out of the situation, knowing that they need us, do you know what I mean? Like, anyway, I like to say it like relationships, dating and relationships. Yeah, it's like, imagine you're dating someone, they're disrespecting you. What do you do? Think about it. Sometimes some people stay in a relationship, and then after a while, after consistent disrespect, guess what you're gonna do? Like, especially, well, I'm gonna say, well, either way, guess what you're gonna do? Regardless of whatever, how you see yourself, after a while, you are going to separate yourself from that situation. So that's the best thing I can say. Separate from this situation. Like, I'm done talking on the subject. Some people are complaining that, oh, well, Rochelle should have done it. And that's the other thing as well, like I'm going to mention. If Rochelle sees herself as a mixed race, then it should have been a dark-skinned woman or someone who considers himself black to do this documentary. But either way, it doesn't matter at this point. What matters is that the documentary is here, and now we've got to find ways to solve this problem. And this, I just given you a solution. We got to segregate and we got to build. Plain and simple. All right. So if you've got any other suggestions or anything we want to react to next or do a video on, leave that in the comment section below. Hit the subscribe button. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. And yeah, hit the bell notification as well. Let's go.